My name is Jonathan Gross. I'm the director of the DePaul Humanities Center and the author of Thomas Jefferson's scrapbooks, Poems of Nation, Family, and Romantic Love. These scrapbooks were in the Alderman Library and really laid fallow for more than 200 years. They haven't been used in biographies of Thomas Jefferson, except for Fawn Brodie's, as far as I'm aware. And they're fascinating glimpses at a time when scrapbooks are so popular of how the president would cut clippings and send them to his granddaughters to help them learn to spell, and so they wouldn't end up as dunces, as his daughter said. So he was, while president, a tutor to his grandchildren, particularly Cornelia. There were 800 poems, and I selected about 243 from that. What's most interesting is his interest. I think he's America's first romantic president. He collects romantic poetry, but not Wordsworth, Coleridge, and Byron, but rather the poets that Byron admired, Thomas Campbell, Samuel Rogers, and Thomas More in particular, but then a lot of women writers that we haven't heard of or we're just beginning to rediscover. This scrapbook is really the first anthology of American literature. What you have is William Ray, an Albany poet, writing about his confinement in Algiers. You have all sorts of poems about Confucius, poems about the practice of sutti, Jefferson's encyclopedic interest in practices around the world and how they compare to our own. The actual tactile sensation of touching the book is not unlike the scrapbooks themselves, which were on an old parchment paper very similar to this. And it's not the kind of thin paper of the Norton Anthology. It's a beautifully done book because it takes you back to a time when people took loving care with objects. And this is an object. This book is meant to be an object like the scrapbook itself.